Eventually, let's just conclude the Quirampa chapter, please. What's the remaining history so far as Quirampa is concerned? Let's just concentrate on him for a moment.
Quiwonkpa travels to the United States.
Were you in the United States at the time?
Yes. When he did get to the United States, I was there. By this time, I have been arrested. This is in...
We're coming back to that.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'm
let's
in the
just
United States.
concentrate on Quirampa.
I'm in the United States.
And what happens with Quirampa?
Quiwonkpa is actually with these two Catholic fathers. I remember one of the name, Father Hayden, that Doe had.
Spelling?
I think it's Hayden, Father Hayden. And he is with them. And he's also in contact with another Liberian by the name of James Butte. He is presently chief, I think, correspondent for Africa that works for the Voice of America. They are together, and it is apparent that Quiwonkpa begins to put his act together as to what he wanted to do back home in Liberia.
In what way was he putting his act together?
He began planning his move back to Liberia to remove Doe.
And what do you know about those plans?
Well, only what I was told. Doe had reached a point where even some of our best friends wanted him out. So Quiwonkpa goes to America. He's with Father Hayden and the rest, and he's working along with certain agencies.
Which agencies?
Quiwonkpa's movement is backed, I would say, by the United States government.
My question was very simple, Mr. Taylor. Which agencies?
Well, he is working with the CIA at the time to help him get back to Liberia.
And so where does he go after the United States?
Straight to Sierra Leone.
To do what?
To train, plan, and be armed for the invasion of Liberia.
And who's assisting him in doing that?
I would call his managers. Father Hayden, plus I do not know the immediate names of the handlers from this agency that I just mentioned, but I know he's with Hayden, and back in Sierra Leone, he's working directly with Dr. Henry B. Fambule.
And who's the president of Sierra Leone at the time?
He's General Joseph Momo.
And what actually takes place in Sierra Leone at that time when Quirampa goes there?
Quirampa goes to Sierra Leone, and all deals are made for the training.
Training of whom?
Of military people.
From where?
From Liberia.
To do what?
To overthrow the government of Liberia.
And where in Sierra Leone were they training?
They were training just outside of Freetown.
Who was training them?
The Sierra Leonean government used a gentleman by the name of Mohammed Doumbouya, who, and I'll spell that if I can, Doumbouya, there was a unit of the Sierra Leonean police, and I'm sure the Honorable Counsel here knows the SSD, Doumbouya, that I know personally, was used and instructed to train the forces that were about to invade Liberia. So they were trained under the command of Doumbouya.
And then what happened after that?
They invaded. The arms were bought, were supplied by the president at the time.
So the arms were supplied by whom?
By the Sierra Leone government.
Yes. To do what?
To invade Liberia.
For what purpose?
To seize power.
And overthrow whom?
Samuel Doe.
And so that's the Sierra Leonean government doing that?
That is correct.
In when?
This occurred, this initial attack occurred in, I think it's 1985, if I'm not wrong.
Can you help us with a month and day?
Oh, no, I just can't recall right now. I'm in the United States.
And help us. What progress did that make, that attempt?
General Quiwonkpa, Thomas Quiwonkpa, leads the operation into Liberia. They are, to a great extent, successful. They enter, they seize the radio station, everything, make broadcasts on the radio. But there was something funny that happened on their way in. And now this is a very important part of it, because again, that upset me, because I am, in fact, Thomas did not listen anyway. But they go in, on their way at the border, the commander of the unit that is leading the troops is killed at the border, not by Liberian government forces, but by one of the member of the invading force. Now, strangely, what was going on, it is believed, and I have heard nothing to the contrary to say that it is not true, that Quiwonkpa had been used by certain progressives within the invading force. And let me clarify this for the judges. Quiwonkpa arrives in Freetown. He has to recruit and train Liberians. So he has to draw this stock of Liberians from Liberia. And so he contacts almost every progressive. Amos Sawyer sent the famous journalist in Monrovia called Tom Kamara was there. The present chairman of the Election Commission in Liberia, Jimmy Flomoyen, was there. These are the Moja Marxist-Leninist individuals. Now, so this Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was contacted. Burma Family is there, so his people come. So what is happening now is that that conglomeration of individuals within the organization have their own agenda. And I want to be very clear about this. I'm saying that this is believed, but there's been nothing to the contrary to suggest that it is not true. Their objective was to use Quiwonkpa to stage the coup, eliminate him, and Moja would take over the country. So the commander, a gentleman called Bia, B-I-A-H, Bia is killed on the border by a member of that group. So they get into Monrovia. The coup is successful. General Quiwonkpa goes to the radio station, not even knowing that his commander was killed at the border. Is left naked. Camp Shuffling, that has come up in the testimony, and the spelling is in the records here. Camp Shuffling, a military barracks just outside Monrovia on the Robertsville Highway, is where you have one of the strongest battalion, I think it's the 1st Battalion of the Armed Forces of Liberia, loyal to Doe, commanded by a Krahn officer, and most of the people there are the Doe loyalists. Camp Shuffling has not surrendered to the new government. They forget about shuffling. Secondly, Quiwonkpa assumes that men have gone to the executive mansion. Doe is still at the executive mansion. Nothing happens to him. So eventually, the soldiers from Camp Shuffling move into Monrovia with massive force. The Quiwonkpa people scatter. Quiwonkpa is sought, he is captured, he is killed, he is eaten by the Krahn soldiers, and that is on the records, all over the records to that. And then the revenge mode sets in.